It's not gonna happen. Like Last of Us is dope, and Uncharted dope. Ghost of Tsushima, love the game. Death Stranding, people hated it, I loved it. But they think that they can just sell their console and win the next generation just on exclusives. And I know they just did that with the PS4, but bro, that shit ain't gonna be like that. The only company that's gonna be doing that in the future is Nintendo. This is kind of a hot take, dude, but I have a conspiracy theory. I think PlayStation is going to become a games publisher, and I think they're going to stop doing PlayStations. And for those of you guys that don't think that could happen, look back, dude, to the Dreamcast, Sega. Sega used to make consoles, bro. Now what are they? They're just a games publisher, and I think they do like arcade machines and shit too, right? Like that's all they do now. You know, that might be Konami. But yeah, Sega used to make the Dreamcast, right? But they got fucking walloped. Dude, the industry changed, and they stopped, and they just started publishing games. I think the same is going to happen for Sony. The reason I say that, dude, is right now Xbox is making that Netflix for games model, dude, and they're crushing it, dude. And you can tell the Microsoft brand is completely behind Xbox. Like, they're 100% behind them. Like, we are going to win this gaming war. And the issue with that, dude, is I just don't think Sony can compete, right? I think right now, for example, Sony could make a Game Pass competitor very easily. Just make PS Now and bundle PS Now and PS Plus and just have all your games come out day one there, and you have a great service. But here's the issue. That's not going to survive long term, because then what's going to happen when suddenly Xbox now has more studios, first party studios than what's going to happen when those actually start now producing these games? And then what's going to happen when Microsoft starts outbidding you for every single third party game, right? Like they're like, Battlefield, we want. COD, we want. You know, the new Splinter Cell's coming out, we want that. Ubisoft, you know, like Assassin's Creed are coming out day one. We have EA Play. Like, if you get into a bidding war with a company literally 10 times your size that is hell bent on dominating that industry, I don't think that's a smart way for Sony, dude. I truly believe that Sony is going to do great this generation because the PlayStation brand is so powerful and has so much notoriety. But I think over the long term, especially as Google starts coming back into the scene, Amazon keeps pushing into the scene, maybe Apple, these big players, I think Sony's going to realize that they have a great brand and they have great games, but that they can't compete at the megalith level to actually dominate the industry in the path it's going down. And that path is online services, cloud infrastructure, you know what I mean? Subscription models. Sony's great, but they just do not have the capacity to compete. And the other thing is, if you look at both companies as a whole, Microsoft is better poised, because the thing about Sony, bro, is they ain't doing that well. Like the entire company I'm talking about, not PlayStation, bro, Sony. Microsoft is killing it. Azure is fucking so good. As a software engineer myself, bro, I use AWS. I prefer Azure. I actually like Google Cloud too, but it's not getting as much traction. Every facet, Windows is doing great. They have all these new updates. Xbox is killing it. Microsoft is thriving. And then in the meantime, you have Sony, man. They just made a deal with Netflix because they kind of need cash, man. They're running out of cash. They're running out of cash flow. The whole company's not doing good. The only profitable sector from most analysts' point of view is the PlayStation brand. So you got to understand, man, they aren't going to take the risk. Like PlayStation can't take the risk and say, fuck it, we'll make a Game Pass too, and we're going to put all of our capital into getting third parties. They can't, bro. Because if that fails, Sony is fucked. Like, don't you get that? Like let's separate PlayStation and Xbox. I'm talking Sony and Microsoft. Like, Sony cannot take this war. And they could, if the whole company was doing well, and even if they had less money than Microsoft, they could do it in a smart way and take the battle, but the company's not doing well, bro. Like, I don't know why. It's interesting to me that other people, maybe, I'm sure there's some people seeing this, but to me it is very clear. In the long term, I'm not talking a year or two from now, maybe even 5 years from now. I'm talking like a decade from now. I think PlayStation is going to be a publisher. You know, they're going to have their big series like Uncharted, Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, blah, 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 right? Jack and Daxter, blah, 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 you know, Ratchet and Clank. And they're just going to publish games like Sega. Because I don't think that Sony, it has the ability, or they are not in the position currently to be able to compete and the model to which games are moving towards. I just don't think it's gonna happen. And I love, dude, I don't even hate Sony. I'm not like some crazy Xbox fanboy. I like Xbox more right now because I like their PC centric focus as well. I'm a PC gamer first, but I don't care about that stuff, man. I think, dude, I loved Death Stranding, dude, when I played on PC. Great game. PlayStation has awesome games, but the company is not set up to fight this next generation war, dude. I'm telling you, like I said, maybe not a year, maybe not 2, maybe not even 5, but a decade from now, I don't think we're going to be talking about Xbox versus PlayStation. I think we're going to be talking about Xbox Game Pass versus Apple Game Loop doobly doop versus Amazon fucking Jeff Bezos, you know, coming to your door, just slapping a game in your face. Like, you know what I mean? That's what we're going to be talking about, man. And Sony's going to be like Sega, and they're just going to have awesome games, man. And you know what? Some of them might be on Game Pass because they're just going to be a publisher that's going to be making money, right? And also, their new CEO, Jim Ryan, is trying to cut the fat, and they rebranded to PlayStation Studios, and I think that's because long-term they're trying to become a studio, like more studio-focused instead of... Because here's the thing, they lose money on their PlayStations, man. You understand that, right, chat? Like, Xbox is losing money on Xboxes, and PlayStation is losing money on the PlayStation. They're $500. Those machines are good for... You can't build a PC that's as strong as those for $500. You want to know why, chat? Because they're eating the losses. Like, PlayStation doesn't want to eat those losses. The rest of the company isn't doing that well. They just want to make games and sell millions of copies like they always have. That's how they've been making their money. That's why PlayStation is profitable. Those big, awesome IP that are awesome games and great studios. That's what they should focus on, man. I'm telling you. I'm just calling it now, boys. Like I said, it's not going to happen soon. So, I mean, you're going to have to come back to this clip a lot of years from now. But I'm calling it now, dude. I think this is the beginning of the end of PlayStation as we know it. And they'll still be great, but it's just the beginning of the end. I'm telling you, and they're going to clap back. They're going to have an Xbox Game Pass competitor. I know, and people are going to be like, Sony's back. They're not back, dude. I'm telling you, they're going to fight back, and they're going to try and survive on the threads of it, and they're going to have awesome games, and they're going to be competitive this gen. The PlayStation 5 is still going to sell great. It might even outsell the Xbox even by the end, even if the tide shift. But long term, dude, I'm talking long term. I think they're done. And the only way they're not is if the entire like Sony company completely shifts and like fully focused on gaming, or like they drop their non-profitable brands. Let me put it this way. It's a lot higher chance that Sony long-term becomes just a publisher than they don't, in my opinion. And we don't know, 10 years from now, anything could happen. Maybe Sony fucking buys Amazon, you know, and Daddy Bezos just, you know, fucking just clamping out there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, but I'm just being real.